When the House Judiciary Committee will come to order, will the Secretary please call the roll?
Chairman Briggs.
Here.
Representatives Donahue.
Here.
Hanbidge.
Designation.
Hohenstein.
Designation.
Howard. Kenyatta.
Designation.
Kincaid.
Here.
Mays.
Designation.
Pielli.
Designation.
Rabb.
Here.
Sanchez.
Here.
Schusterman.
Here.
Warren.
Here.
Williams.
Designation on here.
Chairman Kaufman.
Here.
Representatives Bonner.
Here.
Ecker.
Designation.
Ham.
Here.
Clunk.
Here.
Ledbetter.
Designation.
Allett.
Designation.
Rigby.
Here.
Rowe.
Designation.
Schemmel.
Designation.
Shalaba.
Designation.
Having established the presence of a quorum, the committee is in order and will proceed with today's agenda. First on the agenda, we're going to do numerical order, is House Bill 1962 by Representative Parker. I see the representative here. I'm going to recognize her for comments on her bill, followed by council for a brief explanation. Representative Parker, you are in order.
Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you, Chairman, for allowing me the opportunity to stand before all of you, well, actually sit before all of you to discuss something that is near and dear to not just to me, but to many constituents in the district and just also in the Commonwealth. Many people may not be aware the relevance of grandparents, and I'm also a member of the Aging and Older Adults Committee, so I hear this from time and time again, that approximately 235,515 grandparents are responsible for their grandchildren in Pennsylvania. Many grandparents step in to provide stability and care when parents are unable to do so, often under challenging circumstances. Sometimes they are facing extreme economic hardships. Over 20% of grandparents who are the primary caretakers of their grandchildren live below the poverty level. Sometimes it does have a financial strain. So certain things that I'm just asking for support and just asking for individuals to call to action as we are raising support and awareness for our grandparents. And I don't want them to think, when people think of grandparents, I think you also need to look at me. I never say that often, but I am a bonus grandparent of 5, and they are very talkative, very demanding, and sometimes say a lot of things that I don't know, but they do like when I send them nice presents. So sometimes that also helps. So by supporting this legislation, we can remove unnecessary barriers, provide essential support to dedicated caregivers, and ensure that every child, and the key word is every child in Pennsylvania, has the opportunity to thrive in a nurturing environment. And I just thank you for this time, for allowing me just to talk about something just dearly, not just to my heart, but to many people's hearts in this room and in this Commonwealth. And hopefully we can have your support today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Council, any additional explanation needed?
No additional explanation on the bill. I would note there is one amendment, A05059.
Council, you're in order on Amendment A05059.
This amendment would clarify that a non-parent applicant for benefits may choose to cooperate in seeking and obtaining support payments from a relative, and provide some definitions as well.
Thank you, Council. We'll need a motion to adopt A05059 by Kincaid, seconded by Donahue. Are there any comments on the amendment? Are there any negative votes on the amendment? Seeing none, thank you, members. Secretary, please record a unanimous vote. We'll need a motion to report out House Bill 1962 as amended by Representative Kincaid, seconded by Representative Donahue. Are there any comments on the bill as amended? Representative Schusterman.
I want to thank the maker of the bill for bringing this up. When I first ran for office, the first group I heard from was the grandparents of Chester County, and they really expressed a lot of the challenges that you were able to address in this bill. So I thank you for that.
Are there any other comments or questions? Representative Bonner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my understanding that the purpose of this bill is to alleviate the potential financial liability of a parent for a child's support if there's a surrogate parent, such as a grandparent, in charge of the child. And I believe that the natural parent, the responsible parent, should have that liability ahead of the taxpayers. I don't see why we would place the burden upon the taxpayers if, in fact, the natural parent has the financial wherewithal to support the child. I've attended these hearings where a grandparent has sought support, and they are required to first seek that support from the natural parent. Almost never does the natural parent show. The hearings are not contested. They're not heated. There's not a lot of turmoil or stress within the hearing itself. But again, I would express the thought that the natural parent should have that responsibility ahead of the taxpayer if, in fact, they're capable of financially meeting that obligation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Kincaid.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is such a necessary bill because, quite honestly, grandparents are not responsible for minor children unless the parent isn't. And we are seeing more and more and more grandparents raising grandchildren because of the opioid epidemic. And to not provide them with an avenue to be able to access this really critical avenue of support is I think a great disservice. These are people who really fundamentally never expected to be raising children at their age, to have the expense of children at their age. A lot of them are on fixed incomes. They're living on Social Security. They are not working. They can't work. And so, we should, as the state, I think we have a legitimate and vested interest in making sure that we support people who have stepped up to raise kids where their natural parents are not able to do so or are unwilling to do so for the best interests of the child. So I appreciate the maker of this bill, and I would encourage my colleagues for a yes vote.
Thank you, Representative. Any additional comments or questions on the bill as amended? Thank you for introducing and being a champion for grandparents. Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Briggs.
Yes.
Representatives Donahue.
Yes.
Hanbidge.
Designation, yes.
Hohenstein.
Yes.
Howard. Kenyatta.
Yes.
Kincaid. Mays.
Designation, yes.
Pielli.
Yes.
Rab.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Schusterman. Warren.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Designation, yes.
Kaufman. Chairman Kaufman.
Yes.
Representatives Bonner.
No.
Ecker.
Designation, yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Clunk. Ledbetter.
Designation, yes.
Allett.
Designation, yes.
Rigby.
Yes.
Rowe.
Yes.
Schemmel.
Yes.
Shalaba.
Designation, yes.
House Bill 1962 as amended passes.
Thank you, Secretary. House Bill 1962 passes and will be reported as amended. Congratulations, Representative. Next on the agenda is House Bill 2413. Council, please provide a brief explanation on the House bill.
House Bill 2413 amends the dog law to provide for service dog kennels and adds quarantine requirements for dogs from other states. It also prohibits issuance of kennel licenses, dealer licenses, or out-of-state licenses if the licensee was convicted of an offense such as which caused bodily injury to a dog or harm to the dog. There are two amendments at this point.
Council, you're in order on the Clunk Amendment A04989.
This amendment will give authority to the Secretary of Agriculture to refuse or revoke kennel licenses, dealer licenses, or out-of-state dealer licenses if a licensee is convicted of specified offenses involving harm to the animal. Also provides that an interstate certificate of veterinary inspection is not required for an out-of-state dog if the dog was boarded at a kennel within prior 60 days, if the dog is privately owned and ownership of the dog is not transferred to another person while the dog is in the kennel.
Let's get a motion and second before we go to Representative Klunk. I'll make the motion to adopt A04989, seconded by Chairman Kaufman. Representative Klunk, would you like to provide some remarks?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. As Council did provide, this makes various technical changes, enumerates sections of the Crimes Code for which convictions result in revocation or refusal of a kennel license, and modifies the provisions under which a dog may enter a boarding kennel without a CVI. This particular amendment was negotiated as a part of my work on House Bill 2354 that I co-primed with Representative Sapi from Chester County. That bill is, this particular bill is the same as the bill before us today. Our bill came out of the Agriculture Committee on June 3rd. This particular amendment was negotiated with the Governor's Office, with the Department of Agriculture, the State Veterinarian, the Senate, and Representative Sapi, and I thank all of them for their willingness to work together in a bipartisan way on this very important issue. This amendment is supported by the Humane Society, and I would ask everyone for a positive vote.
Thank you, Representative. Any additional comments or questions on the amendment? I just want to thank you for your work on such an important issue. June is always creates interesting ways to legislate, and I feel like this is the fastest way to try to get this bill done. But I want to thank you for everything you and Representative Sapi did to get us to this point. Are there any negative votes on this bill, on this resolution? Seeing none, the resolution, amendment A04989 passes and recorded affirmative. We are now on the bill as amended, House Bill 2413 as amended. I'll need a motion to bring it up. Made by Representative Klunk, seconded by Chairman Kaufman. Are there any comments on the bill as amended? Representative Klunk, you're in order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll keep this brief. Now that this legislation is amended, it is designed to eliminate the need for frequent CVIs for dogs that are regularly boarded here in Pennsylvania. This issue came up not only to me, Representative Sapi, and I bet pretty much anyone who has a border district all across Pennsylvania. Most of our pet owners take their animals for a veterinary appointment once a year. So obtaining a new certificate of health from the vet every month or two is expensive and very time consuming. So this legislation will present a significant cost savings for our dog owners, and that will positively impact the boarding businesses that serve them, and especially those in my district and Representative Sapi's district. So I would ask all members to join me, Representative Sapi, in supporting this common sense bipartisan legislation that will reduce red tape, support our small businesses, and support our four-legged friends. Thanks.
Thank you, Representative. Are there any other comments or questions on Bill 2413? Seeing none, are there any negative votes on House Bill 2413 as amended? Seeing none, Secretary could please recall a unanimous vote. Thank you, members. A little bit out of order and under any other business, I'll be bringing up House Bill 2429. Council, please provide a brief explanation on House Bill 2429.
House Bill 2429 would authorize the Department of Corrections to suspend medical assistance for incarcerated persons and indefinitely to enable there to be a quicker handoff when those incarcerated persons are ready to be released. It would also allow the department to establish a reentry program beginning in 2026 under the medical assistance programs for persons who are eligible for the benefits and currently incarcerated. It's essentially to provide a warm handoff when they get out so that medical assistance can be obtained quickly without having to reauthorize everything. There are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. I'll need a motion to report House Bill 2429 by Representative Sanchez, second by Representative Donahue. Are there any comments on the bill? Just one. Representative Rabb, you're in order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for bringing this bill forward. I've met too many people who have served their time and have come out of prison ill-equipped to be reintegrated. So often for logistical concerns, things that should have been provided that weren't, and in that absence facilitates bad choices and fewer opportunities to re-engage positively. There are a lot of things we take for granted for those of us who have not experienced incarceration, getting access to the most basic things, and that is the foundation for so much of what we do. And so if people have served their time, if they have been sought redemption, if they have been rehabilitated, they've done everything they're supposed to do, why hamstring them by not giving them the basic resources and access they need? And so in recognizing the bureaucracy that has kept so many people from that, this bill addresses that in large measure. So I am appreciative of the maker of the bill addressing this phenomenon that is born of policy, not out of the individual character of people who have served their time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. Are there any other comments or questions on the bill? Representative Rabb addressed the intent of the bill. This was came up in a appropriations hearing during the budget hearings with Department of Corrections and DHS as something that they were trying to accomplish, I believe, through a waiver process. And they came to us fairly recently regarding some language that they are asking for to best accomplish this reentry. It's very similar to Representative Kincaid's bill regarding driver's licenses, trying to give folks the tools needed to be successful when they get out. So I urge all the members to vote in the affirmative. Are there any negative votes? Seeing none, thank you, members. Secretary could please report it as unanimous support and will be reported as committed. Next on the agenda is Senate Bill 453 by Senator Phillips Hill. I do not see Senator Phillips Hill present. If council could provide an explanation on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 453 authorizes determinate sentences on motor vehicle summary offenses of less than 90 days, provides for certain sentences on driving under suspension when the offense is DUI related, and would modify the ignition interlock law so that an ignition interlock device could be installed on any motor vehicle operated by the applicant. There are two amendments.
Council, please provide an explanation. You're in order on the RAB amendment A05026.
A05026 would change the language referring to county intermediate punishment, which is now defunct language, and replace it with restrictive conditions of probation, which is an option of the sentencing code. Also would carve out the people who are medical marijuana users from the enhanced penalties for an offense for driving under suspension DUI related, and bring them back into the penalties for everyone else.
We'll need a motion to adopt A05026 by Representative Kincaid, seconded by Representative Donahue. Representative Rabb, do you have any comments on your amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I fully support this amendment.
Outstanding, outstanding.
No, I appreciate the maker of the bill and what she has sought to put forth. We want to make sure that there's parity across the board. We do not want to incent bad behavior of any driver, irrespective of what's in their system. But for those folks who are law-abiding and unimpaired, the playing field should be level, and this is what this amendment accomplishes.
Thank you, Representative. Are there any comments or questions on the amendment? Are there any negative votes on the amendment? Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Briggs.
Yes.
Representatives Donahue.
Yes.
Hanbidge.
Designation, yes.
Hohenstein.
Yes.
Howard. Kenyatta.
Yes.
Kincaid.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Pielli.
Yes.
Rab.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Schusterman. Warren.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Chairman Kaufman.
No.
Representatives Bonner.
No.
Ecker.
No.
Ham.
No.
Clunk.
No.
Ledbetter.
No.
Owlett.
No.
Rigby.
No.
Rowe.
Yes.
Schemmel.
No.
Shalaba.
No.
The amendment passes.
The amendment is adopted. Council, you're in order to, on amendment A05066.
A05066 would simply make the ignition interlock licensee responsible for self-certifying the vehicles which she intends to drive when they file the petition for the ignition interlock license.
I'll need a motion to adopt A05066 by Sanchez, seconded by Donahue. Are there any comments on the amendment? Are there any negative votes on the amendment? Seeing no negative votes, if the secretary could please record it as unanimous vote. We are now on Senate Bill 453 as amended. I'll need a motion. I will bring that motion up, seconded by Representative Hohenstein. Are there any comments on the bill as amended? Chairman Kaufman.
Yeah, the amendment that was added, I'm of course, trades in this environment are way above many of our pay grade. I know they're above mine. They may be above the chairman's as well. So I don't know what if this bill is a trade, but I don't believe the amendment that was added has been agreed to by the prime sponsor in the Senate. I know entities such as the DA's Association has shared concerns about the amendment with us, and that's why I opposed the amendment. And at this point, I'm hoping it can be fixed before it's passed out of the House, but I'll be opposing the bill as the amendment was added.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions on the bill as amended? Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Briggs.
Yes.
Representatives Donahue.
Yes.
Hanbidge.
Designation, yes.
Hohenstein.
Yes.
Howard. Kenyatta.
Yes.
Kincaid.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Pielli.
Yes.
Rab.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Schusterman.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Williams.
Designation, yes.
Chairman Kaufman.
No.
Representatives Bonner.
No.
Ecker.
No.
Ham. Clunk. Ledbetter.
No.
Sorry.
Owlett.
No.
Rigby.
No.
Rowe.
No.
Schemmel. Shalaba.
No.
Senate Bill 453 as amended passes.
Thank you, Secretary. Senate Bill 453 passes and will be reported to the floor as amended. Last on the agenda is House Resolution 416 by Representative Miller. I do not see the representative. He may be on his way, but could the council please provide explanation on the resolution?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Resolution 416 directs the Legislative Budget and Finance Office to study funding of the court system and report on how courts are funded, the historical roots of funding, and the effect of court dependence on fines and costs. There are no amendments.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you, Council. Gave you a demotion. We'll need a motion to report out House Resolution 416 by Representative Kincaid, seconded by Representative Rabb. Are there any comments on the resolution? Seeing none, are there any negative votes on the resolution? Seeing none, if the Secretary could please record it as unanimous vote. Thank you, members. That is all of our business. Just for the information of the members, I do plan on having another meeting called on Thursday. We're going to be sending a notice out with a very limited agenda item, but do anticipate having to bring up some additional bills, and we'll try to provide as much notice as possible on what they may be. So this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.